Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. This is the 8th edition of Deck Profile Fridays and the first deck profile after the new year. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and a good New Year, and yeah, really excited about this and to show this off. And if everybody knows a thing about me and Pokemon, I've kind of had a history of playing fire types, and what better way to talk about one of my all-time favorite fire type decks that was used in the 2011 World Championship. More specifically, won the senior division of that championship by Christopher Kahn. And we were going to be talking about Reshiplosion, or better known as TyRam. So, with this deck, there's a couple ways that it can be played. There is the Ninetales version, which uses Ninetales. I think it's like a energy draw type of attack where you discard an energy card to draw 3 cards. So having that constant draw out there, or you could play a more streamlined focus deck where you don't play that, and instead you just have a higher supporter count, right? And that way you're able to draw the pieces, like the Pokemon pieces that you need a lot easier, right? So without further ado, we will get into the list. So we have a 4-1-4 Typhlosion line, and then 4 Reshiram. So with this, we got Cyndaquil. The whole purpose of it is to get into Typhlosion. 60 HP, 1 retreat cost, and weakness to water, which is, by the way, absolutely fantastic in this format, as there are next to no water Pokemon being played. So they are going to have to deal with like the whole amount of HP of either Typhlosion or Reshiram, which is fantastic. Quilava there, we'll only play 1 because it's more of a rare candy focused evolution, because rare candy you're able to get it out like a lot faster. And then Typhlosion Prime, so this is one of these star players of the deck. It's got 140 HP, weakness to water, 2 retreat costs, which is about average for a stage 2 and its previous versions. It's Afterburner. Pokepower is like the main reason why we play it. It allows you to search your discard pile for a fire energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. And then if you do, put 1 damage counter on that Pokemon, and then this power can't be used if it's affected by a special condition, which is pretty much standard for Pokemon powers. So that is absolutely fantastic, and if you're able to get multiples of Typhlosion out, you're able to power up the main attacker of the deck, Reshiram, and its Blue Flare attack, which we'll get into in a second. Flare Destroy there. Typhlosion Prime's attack for 2 fire and a colorless. It does 70. And then you discard an energy card attached to Typhlosion, and to discard an energy card attached to the defending Pokemon. So if they are missing energy attachments on their turn, and you attack with this, you can actually put them behind 2 turns, for their energy attachments, and then therefore they're not going to be able to attack you, right? Which is huge. So that's Typhlosion Prime, and then we will get into Reshiram here. So Reshiram, the star player of the deck. It's got 130 HP. It does Outrage, 20 damage plus 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So it can have a max of 12 damage counters on here. And so that would mean it would deal 140, right? So if your opponent is not able to one-hit this with, let's say, a Reshiram or a Zekrom themselves, then you just Outrage for the return KO. Like it makes it really simple And then the main attack of the deck, Blue Flare for 2 fire and a colorless. It does 120, and then you discard 2 fire energy cards attached to this Pokemon. So pretty much what you want to do is just leave this active, and then just keep attacking with it until it gets knocked out. Really simple. And it's also, I got the all of them in full art, so really happy with that. And then the Typhlosion Primes as well are the ones from the Heart Gold Soul Silver set, not the promo versions. So really happy with that. And that does it for the Pokemon. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a Ninetales version. I would play, if I was playing that version, I'd probably play a 2/2 Ninetales. And I wouldn't play anything else. 3/3 is a little bit too much for the deck. I'd rather be drawing other Pokemon than Ninetales pieces. And a 1/1, if one of them is prized, like one piece is prized, then you have virtually a useless card in the deck until you draw it, right? So I feel like a 2/2 is pretty solid. If one of the pieces are prized, then you still have access to a 1/1 line of it, right? So that does it for the Pokemon, and then we will get into the supporters. So we got 4 Collector, 4 Pokemon Collector, 4 Professor Juniper, 4 Sage's Training. We got 2 Engineer's Adjustments, 2 Professor Oak's New Theory, and a Professor Elm's Training Method. A lot of professors in this deck, eh? Yeah, so Pokemon Collector is pretty much standard for any 2011 deck. You always play 4. It searches out every basic Pokemon, so you want to be able to get, for this deck, you either want to have 3 Typhlosion out, or and 3 Reshiram out, or you want 4 Typhlosion out and then 2 Reshiram out. All right, and then you just want to constantly keep supplying it. 4 Professor Juniper. So this is this fantastic draw card. Often with this deck, you're either going to have absolutely useless hands, where you're looking for certain Pokemon, or you're looking for that plus power, which I play as well. So you just need to say, whatever, I'm just going to discard my hand and to draw some new cards, right, and hopefully get it. Or you're not really going to have much of a hand at all, and if you top deck that card, it's fantastic, right? You're able to draw that 7 cards. Like I said earlier, this deck plays a higher amount of supporters. So if you were to play that Ninetales version, I would probably cut 4 supporters out of this. Probably 1 or 2 Sage's Training, both Engineer's Adjustments, and possibly the Elm's Training Method, right? That's probably what I would do. Professor Elm's Training Method, you search for any evolution cards. So you're out of the Pokemon, you're searching for 5, 1 Quilava, 4 Typhlosion. Really simple. Sage's Training is cool because with the cards that or with its effect, you're able to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. And what you want to be doing with that is you want to be discarding fire energies and putting the cards that are not fire energies into your hand, right? So the really bad thing with this is that if you're not able to, if you don't see any fire energy cards off those top 5 cards of your deck, then that's going to be pretty disappointing. You're going to be losing some key pieces, like supporters, or trainer cards, right, or even Pokemon. So it's got a huge drawback in that, and that is why we play the other 2 supporters in the deck, Engineer's Adjustments and Professor Oak's New Theory. So Engineer's Adjustments is just a great straight draw card. It allows you to discard an energy card to draw 4 cards, which also, like I said earlier, it helps Typhlosion's Afterburner Poke Power. And then Professor Oak's New Theory. So for those hands where you got a lot of like good cards that you want to keep, right, and you don't want to discard it, this is a good way to get a new hand and put them back in the deck so you don't have to discard those resources. So yeah, so pretty cool. And that is the supporter lineup. So we will get into the trainer cards. So I don't have a whole lot. They're actually it's about the same amount as the supporters, but they're all really key. So we got 4 junk arm, 4 rare candy, 3 plus power, 3 Pokegear 3.0, 2 Pokemon communication, and then 1 of each of revive and energy retrieval. So junk armor here is pretty much fantastic. It searches out all these from the discard pile, so it pretty much enables you to have a total of 7 plus powers, 5 revives, 5 energy retrievals, etc. in the deck. And that's actually super useful because a lot of the time you want to be able to get those plus powers back so you can, one-hit KO things like Typhlosion Prime or Reshiram's and Zekrom or Magnezone Prime as well, right? With the help of like playing multiples of them, right? So that's fantastic. Rare candies in there because it's the only way that we have other than the 1 Quilava to get to our Typhlosion Prime. And it's also just a little bit faster, I think. 3 plus bar, yeah, so that there's to increase the damage of Reshiram's attack, to get those one-hit KO knockouts. Pokegear, so Pokegear is actually, I think it's a pretty good card in this format. You're able to get a lot more consistency from your deck by being able to pick the supporter card that you want to play for the turn, right? Should you actually get one? This deck has kind of a bad habit of getting extremely dead hands, right? So this here it's a great card to just add that consistency and making sure that you have that constant supporter for the turn, right? 2 Pokemon communication. So this here is actually another fantastic consistency card. I would even consider maybe adding another copy or 2 to the deck, just so you're able to get that Typhlosion out a little bit faster. The thing with that is that the Quilava is actually searchable, whereas a rare candy isn't. So you just kind of have to hope to get into Typhlosion by drawing a rare candy, or what you could do is you can take the long route and, if you get a communication and have a Typhlosion in hand but no rare candy, you just trade the Typhlosion for a Quilava, and then hopefully you'll get a Typhlosion in the next turn, right? Because there's more Typhlosion copies than the communication, right? So makes it a lot easier. Energy retrieval and then revive. So energy retrieval is great at getting back energy cards. So another cool play that you can do with this is you can energy retrieval and energy and then just discard it again with engineer's adjustments. And then revive. So it acts as, like I said, like a 5th Reshiram in the deck. You're able to get it back. And then with the junk arm as well, you're able to actually, use that again. So it's like playing 9 Reshiram in the deck, right? So absolutely fantastic. So that does it for the trainer cards. So really simple. And then we will go into the energy cards. So the energy cards, we don't have a whole lot. We got 10 fire and then 2 rescue energy. So the fire energies, there for to power up the attacks. Also, it's a good discard off engineer's adjustments with Juniper, and even Sage's training. And yeah, it's to power up the main attackers of the deck, right? And then rescue energy. So it's another fantastic card. You're able to put that Reshiram that was knocked out back into the hand. So it's really like the 10th and the 11th Reshiram of the deck, right? And no, I don't think you'll be needing to go that far. Like, I think maybe per game you should maybe need to use 3 or 4, right? But if you absolutely need more than that, like, this is another alternative to revive. So yeah, and that does it for the deck. In terms of matchups, right? I'll always argue that it kind of just it depends on hand, on what you draw for the turn. Some of the top decks are Megazone, so Yan Mega Prime, Magnazone Prime, Magnabore, so Magnazone Prime Embor. And then, TyRam as well. And then I'd say that those are probably the top 3. And this deck, is I feel like it has a solid, 50-50 matchup versus either of them, right? Or all 3, pardon me, right? Both Magnabore and TyRam, revolve around one-hit KOs, whereas Megazone's more like it's more of a disruption type of a deck where it uses cards like Judge to keep your hand small, and then Yan Mega Prime to slowly 2-hit KO your Pokemon. So the thing with that is Reshiram's able to 1-hit KO Yan Mega Prime. So they're going to have to, they 2-hit KO you, right? You 1-hit KO them. Now they do have Magnazone Prime in there, right? But one of the decks, or pardon me, one of the things that this has an advantage, or pardon me, this deck has an advantage over that deck is that I think it's a lot more faster, right? Because it plays that more streamlined Pokemon count, whereas they play a stage 1, they play some basics in there, they play a stage 2 line, right? So I think you're able to outpace them just a little bit more. So yeah, bad hand, getting KOs, getting that energy attachment, getting return KOs, plays a huge factor into deciding who wins the game. But yeah, if you're looking to get into the 2011 format, this deck here is probably one of the decks, my favorite decks, and a deck that I would recommend everybody to get, just because of how simple it is, how easy to obtain. All the cards are, you can get a Reshiram, not the full art versions, but as like a rare holo. And then you can get the Typhlosion Prime as a promo as well. Just with how easy it is to build, I would totally recommend this deck. Was one of the first decks to build with that format. And then, just overall, I think it's just overall just a solid deck. So, yeah, there you go, everybody, and thank you so much for watching the video, and hopefully I added some value there, and I will see you in the next Deck Profile Friday. Thanks. Take care, everybody.